I'm Linda Nagel. I'm an independent creative memories advisor. And today, I'm in Pennsylvania. But today I want to talk about a new quarterly product that's going to be coming out that Creative Memories has put out. They're tonal paper packs, and they're going to come out each quarter with a different set. I don't know what they're going to be yet. They've only showed us this first one. There are 4 packs. There's a totally tonal red and orange. And in this, it's a inexpensive $5 pack. There's only 6 papers in it, and all 6 papers, so there's 6 different designs. Or I'm sorry, 12 different designs. 6 papers, double-sided, with a total of 12 different designs. So if you are someone who has to have their pages exactly the same, you might want to get 2 packs of them. But I'm going to show you how I used just these 6 pieces of paper to make 3 double page spreads. And they're just going to, there's kind of a new term that I hear some other advisors using, base pages, similar to a Fast to Fab page. I was away at a crop a couple weeks ago, and though I've never really used the Fast to Fab refill pages, I had a set of Fast to Fab paper. So instead of the pre-made pages being done on page, it was just a piece of paper so you could pick what you wanted and use it as you wanted, which I really liked that concept, and I know I didn't describe it properly. The Fast to Fab pages come as an album, and the actual refill pages themselves have a design, like a layout already done on them, which is great to get your pages down quickly. Boom, boom, boom. Add some embellishments, mats, and your pictures, and you're done. I personally find them limiting in that you kind of have to plan because of the double page spread. So when you are doing this page, you already have to know that I'm going to use the pre-made pages on here, and I forget to do that. So when you have the Fast to Fab papers, you don't have to pre-print ahead of time. You can get to your next page. But anyway, each of these sets comes, I said, with 6 papers. And then there's also a sticker pack, which is your $9 sticker pack because it comes with the 3 full sheets. So we have that. So there's orange, or red and orange duo, a yellow and green duo, blue and green duo, and a purple and blue. Which of course I love, well, I actually love both of these. So you know what? I was planning on doing it in purple, but I think I'm going to do blue and green duo. So I'm going to put these off to the side. And next I'll show you the 6 pages. And again, these are base pages, similar to what you might do with your Fast to Fab. So as you can see, there's no embellishments, there's no pictures on here yet, and no mats. Because what I'm thinking and how I worked, because I did it at the crop, you have this base page, so you already got it going, and now all I have to do is get some coordinating cardstock, cut out my photo mats, use the sticker pack. I could pull stickers from other collections. So you could turn this into, this could easily be a summer page. It could be a spring page. Really anything that you have that you want to pull up these bright, fun colors, you can have this ready for you to go, get your coordinating cardstock, and put your pages together quick. So this is one double page spread. You can put it this way. You can lay them out that way. You can do them, really once you get them, however it's going to work for your pages. You can even do something like that. So there's that one. I'll show you how we did. There's this one, and when I made it, I intended it to go this way. You can put it together that way, this way. That'll look great in your album. You can even do that. That's the second set. And this is the third set of base pages. Ooh, I kind of like it that way. All right, so I will show you how I did it. And you are welcome to do these. Either you can, if you want to do this on coordinating cardstock as your base, wouldn't that look nice with maybe this green cardstock underneath here? You can do it right on your pages. What I did it on for demonstration purposes is these, the insets when you buy a pack of paper. These are cardstock, and it is just a nice white cardstock. It's totally photo safe, so you can put that in your album. And then you know, free cardstock basically. So first, let's pull out, we'll look at this purple paper. This is so totally tonal blue and green. And pull out. And what you'll see so each of them, each of the 4 different colors, they all have this pattern, but in one of their colors. This one has a little bubble, I guess, so it's blue, so you have a little bit of water. A little, I don't know what you want to call that, flowery, I'm not sure. They all have this crosshatch pattern. This pattern with the little half circles, that's in each. This is also in each of the packs, but again, in their color. This is a pattern that you will find in each of the packs. And this is more like ripply water, so that's a unique one to this pack. They all have their stripes. This is a common pattern, and this is a unique one to this pack. And with any of these pages that we're making, then you can easily jazz them up with these stickers once you know what you want to use your pages for. So the first thing I'm going to do is get these with what I like together. I like those 2 together, and I like the other side of this one. Yep, I like those 2, so that'll be one of our pages. And let's see. That doesn't have much of a contrast. Okay, let's go with these 2 together maybe? Let's see. What did I do over here with my stripes? With my stripes, I did this one. Did that, and then what do we think? Do we like these together? Let's do those together. Okay, so we've matched up our papers. Let's get started. Okay, the first one we're going to do is this layout. So, I'm going to take our crosshatch, and it looks like we have a 2-inch strip. So let's cut, and then let's cut 2 2-inch strips. Take our trimmer, make sure we have our straight blade in. And 1, 2. All right. Then we also need out of here it's like a 1 1/4 inch strip, but this time we're going to put in the scallop blade. Now what you want to pay attention to on this is the bumps go obviously in one way. So what I did is I transferred onto the top here which way the blade cuts. So I know when I put this in, if I have it set in here this way, I'm going to get the bumps going like this. I want my bumps going this way. So I'm going to put it in like that. Take this, set this at 1 1/4. Oh, see, but I'm cutting on this. So I'm going to switch that around. I want my bumps going this way. So I have to turn this around. So cut that down. I got my bumps going the right way. Let's cut it off this other side. Set this at 1 1/4. And my bumps are going the right way. This is extra paper. You can keep that off to the side. So the next thing we're going to use, we're going to take our second piece of paper and we're going to use, take that out, the arched, oh look, I cleaned up and I put it away. Here it is. So this is mirrored scallops, and I'm going to use mirrored. You can use whatever cartridge you like. Mirrored scallops would be good because it cuts it off. It's going to have a released border. Some border maker cartridges will give you a decorative edge, but leave it attached. It's just going to make a pretty edge along the side. That would be something like Clouds. When Cloud cuts the paper, it leaves it attached to the sheet and just gives you a pretty decorative edge. Then there's the sort of relief cartridges, which when you punch that out, it's going to punch holes, but still you're going to have your 12-inch sheet of paper with you, or then you can cut it down to whatever size, but it doesn't cut it off. And then you have something like mirrored scallops, the ribbon wave. When you punch this out, it's actually giving you a strip of paper. So any kind that's going to cut it off for you, you can use to make your edge, whatever you think, you like. So we're going to use this. If you're not familiar with this tool, this is the paper holder. This blue guide underneath lets you put in your paper, so it puts it in the right spot, puts out just as much paper as you need. Flip that back, and now the cartridge holder will be able to slip right in. These little notches here are going to guide you along the way. They're going to fit underneath. A visual on the top, there's a little notch right there and a little notch right there, and that shows you where to put it in. When it's in there, go ahead and punch. Pull it out, slide in your next spot. Go down, slide in your next spot. And all the way down till you reach the end. There you go. And we're going to do that again. Sorry if the camera shakes when I do that. Oops. All right, let's clean up this mess. We like to call it, some of us, this is the punch poop. Some punch poop you want to save because sometimes you get some really cute shapes that come out on your punch poop. And then the next thing you want to do, so we have these, they're going to be ready to go on our page. We put them over here. And now if you haven't seen the new circle cutter, I was a little skeptical. I thought, why do I need another circle cutter? I already have my custom cutting system. looks kind of complicated. And I did have a little bit of trouble the first time I used it. But once you've used it a couple times, it's nice. And it gives you the option. You can cut so many more sizes because you can pick the size yourself. If you can see on here, if you set it to here, it's a 3-inch circle, a 4-inch circle, a 5-inch circle, all the way up. You can do a 12-inch circle. The smallest you can do on here is a 3-inch circle. This is your center point. This is the center of the cutting. I know when you look at it, you kind of want this to be the center, the axis, but this is the axis. So this paper that I have left is just shy of, is just shy of 10 inches. So I'm going to center it on here so that the center of my paper can still be at 6 inches. And there's a reason for that. Let me move this over here for you. There's a reason why I want the center of my paper at 6 inches. Because to get this to fit, so I can do as big as a 10-inch circle. I don't think I want a 10-inch circle. I'm going to go down to an 8, and well, we'll do a 9-inch circle. Get it a little bit bigger than what I have on there. So you set this line up at the 9, tighten the white, and then the black line and the black line, you want to line that up with the 6. Eyeball it, make sure you're in there at 6 inches, and then this center point and this center point, you also want to get them kind of lined up on the 6. That gets you know you're in the center of the paper. Lightly hold that down, spin this around. The cutting blade is in here and it's lined up with these. So as long as this, when you go around, stays on the paper, you know that you have space and it's not going to cut off the paper. So you want to apply pressure here. This is holding, this little rubber mat. When you push down on that, that's going to push against the paper and hold it in place. So let me line this up again. That looks pretty good. To engage the cutting blade in here, you simultaneously squeeze this white piece and push down on that. So squeeze and push and just go around. And now if you want to be certain you have it all cut, see, it's cut, so you can now release that. If you want to cut another circle out of here, don't move this. If you just put a little pressure on here and loosen the blade or the little slide, which of course I'm going, loosen that up. If you slide this in, say you wanted to, and put that down to, we'll just say 8 inches, tighten it back up again, you can now cut another circle inside of it and you will have a perfect 1-inch circle. I can show that in another video some other time because I want to get to these pages. So we're done with that. Now we want to cut this in half. And another great trick that I learned, let's make sure we have our straight blade back in, is if you have a circle and you rest it down in here, it's going to cut it right in the middle. So as long as you have your circle just resting down in there, close that up, cut it, you now have 2 halves. So that's all of our cutting for our first 2-page layout. So where are my white pages? So let's go ahead and lay these out on here. And you can center it. The great thing about these 13-inch mats is when you lay your 12-inch paper down on it, your cardstock or your decorative paper, you see all the markings. And so you know right where you want to line things up. What I have done here for you today, you really don't need much measuring because it's pretty straightforward. So our 2 pieces, these are going to go on the outside. And because these are double-sided papers, you can choose what you want up. I mean, if you like coordinated but not matching papers, you could put this up on the other side. Put this here. All right, now let's see which I like up. Where's my half circles? Put that there. I like that with my bubbles. But you could, well, that's kind of cute too. I like that better than the bubbles. I'm going to do it that way. So let's go ahead and put this down. Just sort of tuck that. Let's see, now this is where your measurements are going to come in handy. You go ahead and put this down on here. And so this, you can see here that this is a 9-inch circle because that's what we cut. So we kind of want, we have 1.5 inches here and we have 1.5 inches here. So that gets it centered. Just sort of pop it in. And we use, this is a place where you definitely want to use repositionable tape runner on here because you have all these little holes. So you can do this and it won't show. Go ahead and line this up on here. Then we'll do the same thing on this page. How quickly did that come together? You have this wonderful basic tonal paper pack that can now be used. It's ready to go. Ooh, never had that happen before. It's ready to go. Oh, because I'm out. That's why. I'm out of repo. So this page is now ready to go. And I can just add my photo mats and some embellishments to make it, you know, a little bit more thematic rather than basic. So I'll line this up. And make it about 1.5 inches. Voila. Page layout number 1. Quick and easy. All right. Now we're going to do this layout. And this layout's going to give us a little bit more, show us all some wonderful things we can do with the straight trimmer. So the first thing I'm going to do here, and I'm going to do that with this pack. And let's see. I think this is going to be my outside border. Well, actually, they both will be because you have to switch it up to make it work. All right. Some little things, tips about this trimmer. Your blade housing, this white line shows you where your blade is cutting. The distance from the white line from the blade cut to the front or back of the housing is 1 inch. So if you want to cut a 9-inch something, the 9 inches here, you can either kind of watch for the white line to hit the 9 inches, or you know that the front of the housing will stop at 10 inches and that'll cut at 9 because of that 1 inch. So what I want to do though is, the goal we're doing here is to do an L-shaped cut. So how do we do that? And I know that it's 1.5 inches wide. So I want my lines to go that way. I turned it upside down because I want to cut my L. Well, maybe I don't want to use this one. Oh, I have to. So that's the way it's going to be. Yep. Okay. This is going to be a little bit different than I wanted, but that's okay. So we're going to put this at 1.5. But I want to keep this strip of paper. I want this 1.5 inches wide, and I want this 1.5 inches wide. So I know that when I cut this, I need this to stop cutting at 10.5 inches, because your 10.5 plus this 1.5 inches will give you the 12. It's easier for me to watch the front of the housing than cock my head over here and look at the side. So if I want it to stop cutting at 10.5, I want the front of my housing to stop at 11.5. So I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to watch the front of my housing. I'm going to bring it to 11.5 and stop. Now I'm going to put this paper in here again, set it at 1.5 inches. This time I don't have to watch the front of the housing. This time I will watch the white line on the side, and I'm going to have the white line meet up here with the cut mark. And then I know here is that, and I have my nice 1.5 inch corner. So now I need to do the same. Well, then I want to get a 1/2 inch corner, which would be this yellow piece. I want to get this 1/2 inch one. Same concept. So I'm going to set this at 1/2 inch, which is right here, this first set of lines. So this is at 10.5. I want a 1/2 inch. I want my cut line to stop at 10 inches, which means the front of the housing would be at 11 inches. So I'll go ahead and cut that down till the front of my housing is at 11 inches. I flip it over, set this at the 1/2 inch, and watch for my side to get to here. And there we go. All right, we're going to repeat this cut on the other piece of paper. And this really doesn't matter which way it goes in because there's no direction. So we set it up again at 1.5 inches. Want it to stop at 1.5 inches, so I want it to stop at 10.5. The front of my housing is at 11.5. Set that up at 1.5 inches. And now I'll just watch for my blade to get to there. Now I'll set this up at the 1/2 inch mark. So that's a 10. I want the front of my housing to stop at 11.5. No, I want it to stop at 11. 1/2 inch mark. Okay. So now, really simple. take my 2 base pages. And this, it doesn't matter what you use as your base layer. So we're going to have our big corner. So let's play a little bit. Do I like that? Do I like that? Do I like that? Do I like that? What do I like? What do we like? Then we have blue corner and a green corner. Can't do that, so let's see. We gotta do that's gonna happen. We gotta have this go this way. Could do that. Do we like that? Let's put it down like that way. My chains are both going in the same direction. Flowers, it doesn't matter. Okay, let's put these down. And I found this kind of works the best to, if you can, try not to use your repo on the mat, especially when you're going through something delicate that has holes in it. They do come off, but when they stick to your mat, they're pretty tough to come off, and then it just really looks dirty. I have started using alcohol wipes to clean it off. But if you work on one of these folding tables, for some reason, they don't seem to stick to that, or very few stick to it. So that's, I kind of work right on that table when I'm using repo. The other side. And you can really do this with any collection, any paper collection. Just find 2 pieces of paper that you like both front and back together and make your base pages. Get some ready. So when you're going to a crop, or you just want to be able to throw some things, you only have a little bit of time in the evening to work on things, you're going to have these ready to go. And you're going to look at your pictures and go, oh, these are going to look really great on that blue paper pack, or that Wonderlust. Maybe you did it with the new Wonderlust paper pack. You have these ready. And with a collection like that, how easy. You have a mat pack that goes with it, and then you could just take out the mats, because you know they're going to go. Put your mats down, put your photos down, and your page has gone together lickety split. And boy, did I feel like I accomplished things. When I used those pages, I added just a little bit. I didn't feel like I cheated, because I took the page that was that, you know, had a start, but then by adding my pictures and my embellishments and my words and maybe something out of the Cricut, you've done work on that page, and you've created it and you've made it your own. So here's the second one. And so we'll do our last set of pages, which is going to be this one. Excuse me about that. You can put that, I kind of like them laid out like this. Even though when I was designing them, I designed them like that. So the first thing you have to do for this is again going to be with it. Well, actually, no, the first thing you have to do is take your 12-inch piece of paper, and you might want to flip it over to the back side. Center it on your 13-inch mat. Take a pencil or some other marking thing. At least you know with the pencil you're going to be able to erase. And then around all four sides, mark it at the 6-inch mark. So now we know where the center is. So we're going to take our trimmer and line it up. We're going to put our little pencil mark. I hope you can see this, and my head's not in the way. You're going to put the pencil mark on the cut line, both the top, both sides. And then this nifty little trimmer has these cut guides. It's going to show you exactly where it's going to cut. And I can see that this is rolling over my pencil mark, and the one on this end is not rolling over my pencil mark. So I'm going to slide that over a little. So pencil mark, I am safe to cut. And you're going to go around to all four corners. So let's double check. That's on my pencil mark. And that needs to come this way a little. The next side. So line up where I want it to cut. Line this side up where I want to cut. And here we go. And this side, see, this has points. Wouldn't that make a cute little house on a page? You put little windows and have people sitting in the house windows. Oh, cute. Maybe we'll have to do something with that. We'll put a little front door on it. Welcome home. Our new home. Okay, so we now have our four corners, and then this one, we're going to line up, put our cut lines. Let's just have a, I don't think I need to worry about that. All right. And let me get my sample page again so I can see if I have another cut that I have to make. I'm going to take my other paper, and I'm going to cut a 2-inch strip. So let's cut this at 2 inches, 2 inches. And what's my other side? This green. I think on this one, I want to cut, what do I want to cut out? I'm going to think about it while we put this together. If I just want strips or if I want to do something decorative. Okay. So we could really get our corners to go any way we want. So look, this here has the dark green at the top. So let's find the other side with the dark green at the top. There we go. So then this has the blue. That has the blue at the bottom. Now, okay, if we want all of our stripes going the same way, we need to do a little shifting here. So we want this over here. Want this up here. And this here. So let's make sure that our lines match up. We're going to lay our 2-inch strip. Do we like the green? So as on our sample, what I did was the 2-inch strip is what here and here. And I kind of liked it alternating all the way across. So on this one, I laid it yellow side up. And on this one, I did it green side up. And then I switched this 1-inch strip on the top. So that kind of gave us a nice alternating stripe there. But if I want to cut this out as a pattern, and I can lay it down that way, you can decide to do the blue up. And I can punch. I think I'm going to pull out my decorative trimmer. Let's see what we do. Let's pull out the decorative trimmer. I'll be right back. I'm getting my decorative trimmer. And maybe I'll take a little inspiration from this sticker. Let's go ahead and we're going to use the wave. And I want to center this 12-inch paper in here. Oh, that's not centered. There. Was my head in the way? I'm sorry. So go ahead and a lot of times on this thinner decorative cardstock, it's better to start cutting in the middle of your paper because sometimes when you try to get your blade up, it snags a little bit. So if you punch it down in, go that way, and then go back. All right, so this is a waist strip. Now I'm going to cut it and I'm going to put my swale at the first mark. Let me find something to point with. So this is where it's cutting. I'm going to bring my paper to this line right here. So I get a nice thin strip. I'm going to keep it centered and I'm going to pull that up to there. Looks like my light is going a little bit. All right, so I'll put this in the center. Come down. So that's my first one, and I'm going to do this 3 more times. Each time making sure it's centered, line up each hump, and engage my blade in the middle of the paper. That's my third one. And one more. Okay, so I now have 4 of these. So let's glue these down first. This is another thing I like the repo for, when you have these pointy corners, because then you can really tape the corner, get it right to the edge without worrying about the other tape runner hanging off the edge. It's quick and easy. And I repeat this every time. It's even though it is repositionable tape runner, it is that. It is repositionable. It is not a temporary tape runner. This is going to allow you to reposition it here while you're working on it. But come back an hour later, tomorrow, while yes, you can remove it, it's pretty well stuck there. I have been using Repo on my pages for, well, since it came out, and I have never had paper, an embellishment, or anything that I've put down with it come off the page. So please don't think that this repositionable tape runner is temporary and it's not going to hold your paper. I have used some other repositionable tape runner from other companies, and yeah, that stuff falls off. This doesn't. And Creative Memories won't say that it becomes permanent because it's not 100% permanent. But you know what? I don't think the regular card, I mean, any of them, you use your tool and you can get under there and take it off. But it is so perfect for putting down. That's kind of cute too. You could have done 2 of those. So let's get this down. But again, don't think that the repositionable means temporary. It does not. It means repositionable. And the longer it stays down, the more sticky it gets. Look how fast that is. Why wouldn't you? If you do get extra somewhere, it just rub it right off. On some of your darker decorative paper, it will pull off some of the color. So you kind of, on your darker papers, oh look, I thought that white was showing through, but it's actually white on the paper. But if you can see that, I put down there and I was like, oh, I put it on the wrong side. So I just scrape it off and start over again on the other side. Not sure why I'm switching out. I just do that. It's kind of one of those things, you know how you have that paper pack that you just love so you don't use it? Which doesn't make any sense at all. I'm trying to break myself of that habit. I love this paper so much I can't use it. You love it. Use it. That's what it's for. You fell in love with it for a reason. Get it in your albums. All right. So now let's take these wonderful things. And if you we do this all the time in old CM, we just braid these together. And cute. So let's put them down the wrong way. Oh, look at that. Gotta get that under there. See, it's fun to like work things out as you're going. So I'm going to just kind of hold that together with, oh, these two need to cross over here. Okay. My spacing looks pretty good. I don't have to have it perfect. I really don't. Because nothing in life is perfect. Your scrapbook pages don't have to be perfect either. Facebook is perfect. Now we all know everything on Facebook is perfect. But we just put that down. All right, let's weave these two together. Oh, it looks like I cut this one a little thin. That's okay. Again, I live in the real world where life is not perfect. And you know what? Maybe you can just put a picture down over that and no one will notice it. So kind of get that nice and evenly spaced. Take my repositionable tape runner, run it down the other side. This is why we use repo. You want to be able to. All right, there you go. We have now have 3 double page spreads ready to go. Just base pages. So you pull out, you have paper. Now I have 2 sets. I have a green and yellow set, and I have this green and blue set. So when I have some paper, I just have to find some coordinating cardstock, make some mats, maybe find a collection that has, like maybe one of the summertime packs would have embellishments that go with this, and you can throw a page together really quick. And again, you can put these on your page that way. You can put them on your page that way. You could do that. You could have them, you know, here's like a nice motion. Boy, it's getting your eyes to flow that way. And I hope you like this, and I hope you learned a few things, maybe how to use some different tools, or made you think a little bit. Have a wonderful day and a happy scrapping. Bye-bye now.